Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats. But this one is the FPL show. This is the one where Tshepo and Dean, who are at the top of our groups, let us know everything that we need to do to succeed in FPL. And I'll give you a little bit of a spice from my end. As I go, I feel like I'm the student who's like going through FPL, even though I've been playing for like longer than these guys. And I'm learning from these guys and like implementing their change. I'm like, oh guys, look, and then we'll see how it goes. But moving through, probably I think I'm top 1.5 million, so I'm getting there slowly but surely. But like I had a really good March, February, and then I started March very badly because all the changes I put up last week, bringing in Havertz and doing a double Chelsea, didn't work out. So now I'm back to square one, looking to find a way to make use of this double game week. And so that's going to be quite interesting. But Teps, how's FPL been treating you? You were last with us in game week 26. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. After in game week 29, or also game week 28 that we're still in now. Luckily, I didn't transfer to Borna. I had a feeling that the Manchester derby would be spicy. Came through for me there. Obviously, Coutinho. Obviously, Liverpool assets. Got the clean sheets. Trent did the stuff. But what was fantastic was the Reece James captaincy. I actually got the idea from Dean. And saw that Azpilicueta was injured in the League Cup final, and then thought, well, maybe he's going to start and probably play and probably score goals the way he did before. And he did exactly that. Got lucky, not going to lie. Burnley had a few chances that they spurned, but yeah, that helped. But obviously, problems at the top. I don't know what strikers to get. Well, I'm going to transfer a proper striker now because guys are getting their act together.
Okay, guys, are getting the act together. Dean, how is your game week going in game week 28? Did everything work out the way you wanted?
So far, so good. I think the biggest annoying factor for me is last week on the show, I said I'm going to bring in James and then Donker for a hit. And I ended up taking an 8-point hit and I brought in Rafinha as well. I brought in Rafinha and Willock.
Why would you bring in the Leeds Rafinha?
So, I mean, if you had a look at Leeds double, it was pretty good. They had Villa. Well, their second game is Villa, and they played Leicester over the weekend. Now, Leicester's got a terrible defensive record. I had a bit of like, okay, maybe a bit of new manager bounce. Double game week. Looks like he may, if he pulls it together, it'll be insane. He didn't. He hasn't so far, so we haven't seen what he's done. We're recording this before he plays the second game. But if I'd kept it on Coutinho and the way that Villa ran right against Southampton, I would have been absolute smashing it. Even if I had Captain James, I mean, it would have been mad. So I've got Captain Rafinha so far. He's only managed me 4 points. James, who would have then had 36 points if I captained him. It's a massive swing. And I said it at last week's show where this week game week 28 is a big swing, and I think the next big swing is going to be game week 30, which is a massive blank.
The blank, yes.
The blank is going to be massive because if people have played their free hits, you are got maybe
plural.
4, 5. Yeah. If you play both, you've probably played 4, 5. You've probably got 4 or 5 players in that game week, and not enough. A lot of the guys play each other, so you're not going to be doing. You're not going to have massive points there. For the guys that do have their free hit, I think that's the week to play it because there's a lot of spicy fixtures. So Leicester play Brentford, which is a massive game. So Vardy's back, Maddison might be back, Barnes is looking like he could probably do something again. And Spurs play West Ham, and Kane and Son are looking like they can probably. Kane, Son, and we'll talk about Kuleveski, but they're looking like they can play. So I think it's a big week, that one. This one is, again, putting out, showing some good signs. And, yeah, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm up to 71,000 in the world, so it's not bad.
All right.
Kicking
cool.
on.
One thing we always do here on CheapSeats is that we're sponsored by Classic Shirts ZA, so please do go check them out for the classic shirts that they have. If you're a classic shirts connoisseur, please do go check them out. Remember the shirt of the week. We love it. We did it twice. That was the Bafana 92 to 96 jersey, the jersey that won AFCON in. The discount code is CheapSeats 50. So please do go and have a look at that. Okay, so what we normally do on CheapSeats is we ask the guys to give us their transfers for the week, transfers out, and then their differentials and their cap to give you a sense of where to navigate while you're doing your transfers. I'm going to start with mine this week. I am looking into bringing in Son. I was a toss-up between Son and Kane, but I went with Son. I got Bruno Fernandes out. My differential is Martin Odegaard, largely because they played twice, and I don't think Liverpool can stomach a clean sheet against Arsenal. I want the clean sheet that they have in that early fixture. I think it's against Brighton or Burnley, whoever it is. So that's the one I'm looking for. And I'm captaining Salah, largely triple captaining him because I don't think I'll get an opportunity again to do that. I know Mo's going to score against Arsenal. I just hope he puts numbers against the other team that they're going to be playing this week, Brighton. Which is a tough fixture, but I missed out on the last one, and I think I kind of need to.
You have to play triple.
I have to do it now because I think there's not another opportunity where Liverpool's going to get a double game week, unless if it's that double game week where Kane plays Arsenal and someone else. But then I don't trust Harry Kane, nor do I trust Bruno Fernandes. So this is my
triple captain Salah's the week, If you haven't
Spurs are also doubling as well. In this game week, so that was the reason why I brought in Son as well as Martin Odegaard, owned by 3.2% or 4.24% of FPL. He's an interesting one in this Arsenal team because he's the number 10. He's getting into Ozil-esque Odegaard. I know at the beginning of the season I spoke rubbish about him. I thought he was playing a little bit slower. He's picked up the pace. He's moved. He's playing. He's assisting more. He's contributing more, and I think he's going to be quite important, especially with Emile Smith-Rowe out. If you want a cheap Arsenal asset, 5.5, that's Odegaard. I think Saka is a little bit more expensive. Let's move on to Tshepo. Tshepo, your team. You went 3. You went Kane, Doherty, Martinelli in, Livramento, De Bruyne, and Dennis out. Salah in. Salah is your captain, and Kulusevski as your differential. Let us know a little bit more.
Yeah, I just need to target those Spurs fixtures. It looks like they're kicking into gear quite nicely. And they have fixtures against some volatile teams. Manchester United looking a little bit leaky. And I think Dean said it in the other show. They're playing against a team that think that they can get one over on Tottenham. And, Tottenham on the counter-attack would be very devastating. Harry Kane is also on penalties, so that's why I preferred him over Son. And he's always contributing. He's like literally everywhere. Good. He's looking really good now.
So that's the striker you're bringing in. That's the
striker I'm bringing in.
Best striker in North London. In the history of North London, statistically. Overtook Henry yesterday.
Henry, yes. Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good. Congratulations to Harry Kane. But yes, Matt Doherty is also looking good. The Spurs and Antonio Conte have been using the wing backs quite often. I once tried to back what's his name, Emerson Royale, and he was absolutely trash. He's trash. That guy is bad, bro.
He looked so good. He looked so good, and I think he's just fallen off the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Doherty's first choice by far, and he played really well against Everton. So Doherty is a really good choice. I think he's 4.7.
Exactly, he's pretty cheap.
And he's first, and he's going to start. We may not have clean sheets, but he's in there with his assists, and he's playing really good balls. I wouldn't say he's Doherty at Wolves, but he's definitely getting better.
Definitely, and the system's just right for him. And then Martinelli, the Arsenal asset. So right there, trying to target 3 double game weeks, and that's why I justified the 8-point hits, because like literally, if one of them score in those 6 chances, and those are quite likely to score, it basically does. And then the people I was taking out, single game week players, basically got an upgrade from Livramento to Doherty. And obviously, and getting out Dennis is also a bonus. And and also Kevin De Bruyne, he served me well. Manchester United game was great.
Buy low, sell high.
Exactly.
the king
Exactly.
of investments, FPL investments. Like, he served me well. Really?
He
This
did,
is the
dude. He
brainer.
did. He
Okay,
did.
selling him high. Selling him high, so you're getting those points. Dean, your transfers are largely simple. You're bringing in Kai Havertz, you're getting out Coutinho. Matt Doherty's your differential, so I'm assuming you brought him in, and obviously we're all captaining Mo Salah here. Take us through.
So I'm really happy that Coutinho had a good game this past game week with the double. And the Villa guys have really served me well. So I tripled up on Villa. I have Watkins, Coutinho, and Cash, and they've really done well the last couple of weeks. But Villa's fixtures going forward are not that great. Got West Ham, got Arsenal, got Wolves, Spurs, Liverpool, Leicester, all in a row. So basically up until the end of April, I wouldn't say they're massively difficult other than that game against maybe Liverpool, but they're not as easy as what they have been. And Coutinho's class, don't get me wrong. But I think when you compare it to Chelsea's fixtures and Kai Havertz, for me, he has to be first choice now. Chelsea looks so much better when he's on the pitch. We've spoken about it in previous shows, and their fixture run is just ridiculous, Chelsea. So it's an easy transfer for me from Coutinho to Kai Havertz. Having said that, though, I was considering going to Jota because Liverpool have got the double. But it looks like Luis Diaz it looks like Klopp's favouring that Salah, Mane, Diaz front three at the moment. I don't know. Jota's looks like he's back from injured.
Is he a midfielder in FPL?
Yeah, he's a midfielder.
Okay.
So
That's
so I would put Jota in if he started at the weekend, but the starting positions in that front three are just a bit shaky unless you Salah, Mane. So Kai Havertz for me, and a lot of guys are saying, it's Chelsea guys or the Chelsea front three are also kind of chop and change, and they spend so much on Werner, they spend so much on Lukaku. It's just a matter of time until they have to play them because they spend so much. But they spent a lot of money on Kai Havertz as well. It's not like they got him on a free transfer, So them playing at false nine in Kai Havertz, who cost a lot of money and is now looking like he can play. I think that negates we spent so much money on Lukaku, we have to play in competition. So for me, Havertz is there. Fixtures are great. Coutinho's fixtures are going down, so easy one. Doherty, I spoke about it earlier, but he's now 100% first choice. The balls that he played for Kane in that Everton game were insane. Cuts right across. Kane is looking like he can now finish them. So once we get past, this is now the part where you have to start looking forward. So game week 29, there's a few doubles. Try to target them, especially Liverpool and Spurs. Arsenal, I will never bring Arsenal play in my squad. So
that's why you're not number one. That's why you're 71,000.
There we go. 30, I think you free hit. And then from there, if you still got your wild card, so I've still got my wild card, you can then start targeting certain players. And Kane is definitely on that list. He has to be. Spurs' fixtures are really good coming towards the end, post this maybe United game. We've spoken about that in the previous show, but Kane is back to his best form. The goals that he put away against Everton are tough finishes, but he just made it look easy. So in terms of strikers, Kane is a no-brainer. There's absolutely no one else that I would look to get. He's expensive, but go.
So 2 questions from me. One, there are 5 other teams. There are 6 teams that have a double. It's Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, Brighton, Newcastle, Everton. Are there any players in those teams outside of Liverpool that you're considering as a double? I know I've got Neil Mopé in, hoping that he can sneak one in on both games.
Stop it, guys. Stop putting Neil Mopé in your team.
Who must come in from Brighton? No one.
No one from Brighton. No one from Brighton. Bring in Ryan Fraser from Newcastle.
Fact.
Ryan Fraser.
Ryan Fraser, 5.3. Him with his old manager. This man is looking so good. So good.
I brought in Joe Willock, and I should have brought in Fraser.
Yeah. But with that said, though, also at 5.3, and Mpho, you'll be able to tell us more about this, but not for Dean. Martinelli, a little bit cheaper. He's part of the 3 that play behind Lacazette in that false 9. And Lacazette just lays everything up for these 3, just puts it on a plate. like the perfect number 9 that you want for a bunch of youngsters. And those are the hungry youngsters that he has behind them. It's Odegaard, Odegaard, Saka, and Martinelli. And
Yeah.
Martinelli is the cheapest of the three, has a pretty decent expected goal involvement. So that's expected goals and
Look
expected
at you,
assists.
Mr. HG.
Yeah. Hey, it helps. Hey, this is why
It does
I'm
help.
at the top, guys.
does
Like,
help.
Oh, okay.
just go on to FB Ref and check the stats for yourself. Stats don't lie, guys. Paints a nice picture for you. Like Martinelli, literally just like 0.3 behind Bukayo Saka, and he's a lot cheaper. So definitely consider those people there.
Okay. And
Yeah.
a second question from a captaincy perspective: is there anybody that you're looking at outside of Mo Salah? So I know it's a double game
No.
week. I know Spurs double. Are there people who are willing to go for that differential Kane, knowing that they're going to play, Brighton and Man United?
I really don't. If I had Kane, it would be a really big toss-up between Kane and Salah. I've got Son, which also isn't bad, but Son could have scored about 4 goals last night, and he just didn't take them. So Kane would score them. So if you have Kane and you have Salah, it's a tough choice this week. Especially with the weak defense that both of those teams have, Brighton less extent, but Kane is definitely a really good option. But if you want a super differential, you go Kulusevski from Spurs. He's guaranteed to play. Kulusevski, I knew the ginger from Sweden. He has scored 31 points in the last 4 weeks. So
this man is proper.
He got 2 assists against Everton. He scored against City, and he scored
against
price
for our listeners and our fans. What's his price?
6.1.
Yeah.
6.1. Okay.
6.1. He's cheap, so he can.
Is he a forward or is he a midfield?
He's a midfielder.
These FPL people aren't giving us much, eh?
So midfielder, 6.1, guaranteed to start, double game week, and he can play. He's young, he's got the legs, and some of those balls he's playing, he puts them on a plate for Son and Kane, if not finishing them himself. So I'm not going to captain Kulusevski, but if you are looking to climb ranks and want to take a bit of a chance, he's really, really not a bad shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a really, really
big drop.
It's a big pick. Tshepo made him as differential, so that's an interesting one. I was hovering around Alan Saint-Maximin because I was like, Newcastle played twice, but I'm not sure if he's leading the line. He didn't play in the last game.
Well, he came on as a substitute right towards the end, and I mean, we all know what Saint-Maximin can do. The only thing
I want that Newcastle,
Chelsea, Everton. Everton, he can run rampant.
But Chelsea not so much.
Chelsea.
Hey, look, you never know. Look, Eddie Howe surprising people like his first season in the Premier League. So yeah, okay, guys. This is the week I'm triple captaining Salah, putting my colours to the mask. Hopefully, he'll come through for me.
I hope he blanks.
I was wishing you luck, Mpho.
It's fine. It's fine. It's funny when teams are playing against Dean and he's wanting Mo Salah to blank, even though he's playing against Arsenal. That's okay. Maybe you have a red shirt.
No. Okay, he can blank against Brighton. He must go rampant against Arsenal. He puts 10 past them.
Oh, if he puts 10 past Arsenal, I win FPL with everybody else captained him. So I'm looking forward to that. Remember, the deadline is Saturday at 1 p.m. I'm going to have to get my things in because I'm probably going to be out the country by that time. So that's going to be fun. We'll see how that goes. But thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend. From ourselves here at CheapSeats, goodbye. And les sale, kakakis.